So we are taking a look at page 243, 244, 245, looking at how to make measurements with the greatest amount of precision and accuracy. So making measurements, we need to know what to record for the significant figures. So we need to learn to record all of the definite readable digits from the instrument scale. And when you and I use the same piece of equipment and we're measuring the same object, all of those readable digits that you and I write down should be exactly the same. Then we take a closer look at the instrument scaling and determine which place we can read to. What's the decimal position to the right, most right, that we can read to, okay, which is represented by the smallest marking on the scale. This takes practice. And then we record one more digit to the right. And this digit's value is determined with estimation. This is the only place in the measurement where your value and my value may not be exactly the same, but should be similar. Okay, so let's take a look at ruler number 1. When we look at ruler number 1, there are no like little line markings on it. And all we know from one end to the other end, it represents 100 centimeters. So the only place we can read to on this particular ruler is the hundreds. So therefore, my place of estimation must be a digit in the tens because that's one more position to the right of where I can read. So when I take a look at this, I mean, here's what we're measuring. I know it's more than 0 centimeters, definitely less than 100 centimeters. And then just ballparking it, I know that probably this is about halfway and it's less than that. So I could say that it's 10, 20, 30, 40. So I'm going to say I am going to estimate that it's around 30 centimeters in length. So I estimated that 3 because I know it's more than 0. The max length that this is only definitely measures is 100. And this implement with this line takes up less than half of the ruler. So I'm estimating around 30 centimeters. Moving on to page 242, okay, take a look at ruler 2. In ruler number 2, we have some graduation marks on here that cut it up a little bit so we have a better understanding. So taking a look at this, I know where 10 centimeters, 20, 30, 40 are. So I can now read this ruler to the tens. So therefore, one more place to the right where I'm going to estimate is in the place of the ones. So when I take a look at this line, I see that it reaches past the 20 centimeter mark, but it has not reached the 30 mark. And the line seems to be a little bit closer to the 20, maybe slightly less than what would be like the halfway mark. So I'm going to estimate the line's measurement of around 23 centimeters. So I estimated the digit of 3. So we should all agree that this is definitely 20 centimeters and it's less than 30. It's closer to the 20, so I estimated the 3. Now, when we take a look at ruler number 3, we can still see the markings of 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, but now there are little lines in between the 10 and the 20 and the 20 and the 30, and they actually mark off the 1. So this would be 10, 11, 12, 20, 21, 22, 29, 30, 31. So I can actually read this particular ruler in the 1 spot, And to estimate, I need to go one more place to the right. Now this takes me to the other side of the decimal. So where I'm going to estimate is in the tenths position. So when we take a look, we should all agree it is definitely still more than 20. And it looks like a couple lines past the 20. So I don't know what happens. I move it like this. So I take a look, it's 20, 21, 22, but it has not reached the 23rd. So definitely reading to the ones, we should all agree it is at least 22 centimeters in length, but it goes past the 22 mark and it's heading to the 23. So we're going to estimate in the tenths position. It seems to be about halfway between. So a reasonable estimation would probably be 5. So this line's length is 22.5 centimeters. So now we are asked to take a look here at which ruler seems to be the most precise measurement. Well, I went from a ruler of estimating 30 centimeters to a ruler that says, well, it's closer to 23 and now 22.5. So which ruler seems to make the more precise measurement? Well, it would be ruler number 3. So, couple of things. When I take a look at this measurement here, it only has 1 sig fig. So this measurement, the bar is above the estimated. This measurement only has 1 sig fig. Where ruler 2, the measurement, take a look at where the bar is. This measurement has 2 sig figs. And then ruler number 3 has 3 sig figs. So ruler number 3, it has the most sig figs, comparing the 3 rulers. But the other key here is the place of estimation, where we estimated here in the tens versus ruler 2, we estimated in the ones, and then ruler 3, we estimated in the tens. So ruler 3, it had more graduation marks in it, so it has more sig figs, and it has the most right sig fig. So the most right sig fig is in the most right decimal position. So it's in the most right decimal position. So if you thought about it in terms of money, we estimated this to be 30. Somebody else could have estimated this to be 40. Somebody else could say that this is 20. So there's a bigger difference in the estimated length here. Where if we take a look at ruler number 2, somebody else could have said, 24 centimeters. Somebody else could have said 22, where our place of changing the value is it's less than 40 versus 30, right? But it's still in the ones. Where with this one, where we would all say it's 22, but somebody could say, well, I think 22.6, or somebody else says 22.4 in the place of estimation. So here in the place of estimation, it has an overall less effect on the overall value. So ruler 3 represents the most precise measurement. So now you try the you do problems here at the bottom of page 244. Each position of the ruler, make a measurement, assuming that the objects, the length of what you're measuring starts here at the 0 mark and then travels to each of these. Okay, and notice, okay, The ones you can read here to the tenths. So therefore, your place of estimation needs to be in the hundreds. So this estimated digit, okay, place a bar of it, but it's going to be in the hundredths. Check your answers with me to see if we're reading the ruler the same way.